Something with bees coming up. Bees very important.
Big deal with bees, and this is going to be the beginning of a series of things that we're going to do for the community. But we're starting with our bees in Texas. And I was sharing with some of our producers that, taking care of bees is more than just putting them together and put them in a box and expect them to survive. So what I planning with some of our producers is to open a session September 25th. If anybody's interested on learning about bees or what bees do for in general, the agricultural community, they're welcome to come. September 25th at 7 p.m. here at the Extension Office, we have an open session. I call it Bees in Texas, and it's specific for honeybees. And we're going to talk a little bit about what happened to the hive when it gets Africanized and whatnot. But mainly, we're going to try to encourage people to have honeybees and how to get them together and in place. So if anybody would like to learn about bees and get in a program and a project with those bees, especially youth, there's a lot of skills that need to be learned in how to make those hives and buy the right kit and keep the colony going. So this is the beginning of what we hope a series of trainings on bees, and we're starting this fall. And like I said, I'm inviting everybody who want to be learning about bees. September 25th at 7 p.m. here at Extension Office. It's a Thursday. So.
Yeah, I read the other day bees are responsible for pollinating so much of the things that we enjoy.
You are correct. And actually, that's one of the things that our beekeepers get sometimes. They move those colonies from place to place. One of the persons that are doing this for a living, his name is Shannon Picker, and he's been, moving his colonies as he sees them fit so they can harvest that honey, but also get lease to other states even to pollinate big crops. I know the almond people in California, they use a lot of bees from Texas to pollinate the crop, and they also go up north, different places where the weather is a little harsh for the bees. They get our colonists to be sent truck over there and do the job and pollinate the crops. So it's a very important support that I would call it support crop that people can do. Even if they're beef producers or any other type of producer, they can have a hive around just to make sure that everything is going to be happening, and they'll make a little money out of that. So,
Yeah, there's been a big mystery with a lot of the bees dying for one reason or the other and disappearing, and we got to keep them going.
Absolutely, and a lot of those things that there have been speculations, and I will put it that way, of certain use of certain chemicals that we were not aware that could have an impact overall in the bee population. And sometimes it's just losing a particular plant who was not flowering anymore, and the bees start searching for another source and move away. And sometimes people get a little frustrated on that because they start a hive, they put some money on it, and they're gone, and they don't understand why. So that's what I invited Shannon to come over, and he has done it for several years now, and we actually started together. I kind of guide him to find the right people to talk about it, because it's a very specialized issue. You have to know what you're doing and try it a little bit and see what it works. Shannon even put some crops specific for his bees, so I think he got handle of him, and he's willing to try to share with everybody else. So good opportunity to talk about bees from the positive standpoint, and maybe those small acreage, people that cannot put a lot of livestock on it, because you can keep them in a very small space if you have just the colony. The range kind of increases, but it's something very feasible to do.
We get into September, I think about the hay show early October.
That is correct. Professional ag workers, we are already collecting samples for that hay show. We have a very successful hay season this year. So we're seeing already some entries. Anybody who's interested in how that hay tested, the Northeast Texas Farmers Co-op, a few minutes ago, I was talking to them. They're ready to provide that support. So if anybody would like to know the quality of that hay, they're welcome to bring it in. We will test it for free, up to 2 samples per hay producer. That's about $30 right there just in testing. And if it ranks well, we will put him in the hay show for an opportunity for $100, $75 and $50 for the top 3.
It really is a tremendous service, isn't it? To find out, that your hay's, you got a good stuff there.
Absolutely, because that's what eventually is going to transfer into a good crop in beef or dairy production. So it's a basic understanding that hay feeders, not only hay producers, but also hay buyers, they need to know what they're feeding to their cattle, because sometimes if it's not the right stuff, the cow cannot do miracles. They'll do their best, but sometimes they have to have the protein and the nutrients in there to make it happen.
All your winners will be announced at an ag workers meeting.
The first Thursday, like every year since the last 60 years that we have done it, Professional Ag Workers is kind enough to have it again, and we have an event planned for the first Thursday in October to have the breakfast with everybody, and we raise some funds also for our youth programs and scholarships. Professional Ag Workers is the group that puts together the hay show, and we get tremendous support from our community to support our community again. So we'll invite everybody to get a benefit, especially get a benefit from the testing, number one. And if it's in a good quality, we'll put it in and see what it can do.
Where do they take samples?
They can do it now for the first time in 2 places. They can bring it to the extension office. Okay. It's located at 1200B Houston Street. In regular working hours, or you can take it to Dairyland Automation. Dairyland Automation is also in Houston Street. It's a little bit further down, closer to the square. So if anybody has some samples, they can talk to Gary Spraggins there or us here in the extension office and turn them in.
Very good. A lot going on.
A lot going on, like always, guys, and we always appreciate the support of the community, and welcome to all our programs. If anybody has any questions about any agricultural topic, feel free to call me, 903-885-3443. We'll be glad to help.